Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Blockchain After Hours. Obviously, you can recognize Hidden and I, but we also have 7 Pint Wonder. Welcome, sir. We will get to you in a moment. I'm going to go through a couple of quick things, a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to be releasing uh, a video link soon on my channel. We're going to do a live with Monstros tomorrow. So I'm getting a little bit more active, and I'm trying to reach out to a few people that I know are white hats in the area. Everybody knows Oxvarius, and so I'm looking forward to having him back on. There's been a lot of changes and inside Monstros, and still going well. Like it's not making gangbusters, but I don't expect it to be making gangbusters because, well, the crypto market's kind of flat, as we all know. So I'm looking forward to having him on and getting caught up with him again because it's been a little while. We've chatted from off and on, but nothing crazy. Obviously, I've had a couple of videos about JAT bots, and we're going to get into more details today. I'm going to keep running videos and doing updates. If anybody has any questions, even after today, don't hesitate to come into the Discord and let me know. And what I can do is include that in hopefully a future video, because I do want to keep doing some content on this. I do appreciate what these guys are doing, and I look forward to diving deep with 7 Pint Wonder and going through some stuff with him. Hidden, how about you? Anything on Flex quickly before we move on? Or
other than I just got back from the domes.
That's right.
Over the weekend.
There's no photos.
Oh, there's photos in Telegram.
Oh, nice. I probably haven't been in there.
Yeah,
that's awesome. How was that?
Absolutely beautiful up there. The one thing I said in Telegram that I want to reiterate is the pictures that Bill sent us over the past 2 years just don't do justice to how much work actually went on up there.
Oh, nice.
It's absolutely insane.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, we got that going. I believe we're still waiting on the Canadian government so we can list that second dome. So right now we're at only one dome being able to be rented. Sea-Doos, they're there, ready to go into water when it gets a little bit warmer. They're massive, like huge. I've never seen jet skis that fucking big.
Nice.
They 3-person or just 2-person?
2-person, but they're wider. They're the I don't know what model number they are, but they're huge. Nice. Let's see what else. Bill is doing some trading again. He's getting back into the trading, but with this the Israeli-Iran conflict going on right now, nothing is going like it should. As far as
I'm sure
the markets are
flatter than flat right now.
I wouldn't say they're flat. It's just literally not doing what you think it would do. Like I was with Bill when we first got news of Israel striking Iran and vice versa, and we were watching the stock markets. Well, not the stock market because it was over the weekend, but we were watching the crypto market, and it didn't react at all.
Yeah.
And then Monday morning, as expected, gold shot up through the roof.
Yeah.
And normally when that happens, we find that the BTC correlation is like inverse of gold, but BTC did almost nothing Monday morning. It's insane. Which is good and bad. I guess it's good because it means it's less, less in sync with the stock market.
Yeah, and not only that, and I mean even gold shooting, it didn't shoot as crazy, so hopefully that means they're less
worried about the whole. Yeah, exactly. The only other thing I got is I want to say we're still technically doing the Pan Bridge thing with Pip Logic. I withdrew my personal small amount that I had in there testing it. And actually put it into the JAT bot and everything like that. That we'll go into in a little bit here. But it's still going on. Pip Logic, they did like 2.73% today.
Yeah, crazy.
Which is insane.
I still kept mine in there because I did get a little bonus from some referral money, so I did still keep my bit in there. I had one larger amount that was in from somebody else who's removed, and so I'm being cautious with it, but I do like it. It is a really nice earner. They've been around for a while. I don't want to. I mean, there's been some rumors and whatever, but they handled it in their Telegram with a pretty all right announcement. But I mean, there's still lots of question marks as a whole. They're not as like they say they're transparent, but they're not really that transparent.
No,
but so no, I much prefer stuff like what we're going to talk with 7 Pint about. And I just actually realized I didn't put it in my Telegram today, so I'm going to announce that right now. The video that we're live right now, pin. And then other than that, I feel like there was something else I wanted to quickly mention. Maybe that's it for now. If we can go back on stuff later. So I was definitely going to get to this, but Hidden obviously proactively kind of reached out to 7 Pint, which I do appreciate. And it was a good thing, honestly. There definitely was a desire to have him on, but I was just trying to let some things get some traction going. So I think this was good timing, though, because we've had I've done 2 videos for JAT bots and had some really good success. We've had some really good, I've had it running, I think one of my main ones for a month and a half, I think, on a very low risk, like a small account. And it's handled 2, I think 3 now, fairly large news days. Today's was kind of wishy-washy whether it was large or not, but I mean, basically the feds said what we already knew they were going to say.
Exactly.
So it's handled that really well. I've really enjoyed watching how it interacts and how it trades multiple assets. We've had a lot of bots, for a little bit of background, and a lot of you, I guess, watching this, we've had a lot of bots on here. And sorry, I did want to go back to this for 2 seconds. I sometimes jump 7 Pint, so bear with me. Quarter Mile, I don't believe they're working on bots really for the decks yet. Is that fair to say?
I don't know how much I can talk about it because I did talk to Bill over the weekend. There's a lot of cool shit coming up for Flex decks and FlexIRA and everything, but I'm not sure what I can talk about yet. I got to reach out to Bill and I'll update everybody probably next week.
So hold on to that thought, Quarter Mile, until a future session. Sorry. So we've had a lot of bots. I mean, Hidden, you've tested probably way more than I have. I've gone through the ringer with a bunch. We've had I actually presented this to a group of people who are hurting from the Pulse and showed them how this is doing. So hopefully we'll have some of them watching tonight or the rerun. We've had our slew of crap ones and that have blown up in the end. I mean, a lot of them look great on the surface, but they're all hidden by basically, I mean, is it fair to say hidden? They're basically all martingale in the end when you really got down to the nitty gritty. So I'm looking forward to, and I know these ones are not martingale, but I know there's some DCAing that they do. So I'd love to get into the nitty gritty of what those details are, 7 Pint. Obviously, if people are around, they want to ask questions, please put them in the chat and we'll happily jump to those as we go through this. But first off, I guess, if you want to just introduce yourself, give us a little up and down kind of elevator pitch on who you are and what JATBots is trying to do. And we'll leave it to you for a moment.
For sure. Yeah, no, thanks for having me on, guys. I've known Pocket. I've probably known you, I don't know, coming up on at least 2, maybe even 3 years.
Probably close to 3, yeah.
Yeah, going through insert DeFi scandal here. So this all kind of started, I'd say it started culminating back then, but I've traded futures, I've traded options, I've traded stocks, I've been in DeFi, been kind of around the crypto spaces. I've mined Ethereum. I've been in and around those spaces for the better part of 5 years. My name 7 Pint actually comes from an Australian trader that I used to trade with, and one night we had a phenomenal trading night, and I had exactly 7 pints of beer, so that was the lucky number we determined. So I changed my name that night to 7 Pint Wonder because I thought, if I drink 7 pints and trade with 7 pints of beer in my system, it's gonna be okay. That was not the case. It was just luck of the absolute draw.
Nice.
But so all that to say, I've kind of been in and around a little bit across all spaces, and then just probably last summer, spring timeframe. Kind of started dabbling in Forex, tried it myself, found a couple groups that were trading, had some bots, had some manual trading, and it was going okay. And it just manage your own VPS kind of thing, load your set file, adjust the settings, choose your broker. It was broker dependent. It just wasn't it was a lot of lights and glamour and not a whole lot of action. And then every time that we would, hey man, like such and such bot took a loss, like what the heck happened? And they're like, oh, I don't know what happened to your set file, but mine's running perfectly fine. I'm like, okay, well this is like, all glitz and glam and no actual action. So that probably
We've never had that hidden, eh? Not to interrupt, but
yeah,
never seen anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, your VPS must have updated, or oh, did you make sure Windows updates was off, or blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. So left that group, found another one, and that's actually in that second group is where I met Josh. And then that group, of course, had what I like to determine or call toxic leadership in it, and it just was not the place to be. And I said, you know what? Forget this. I'm smart enough. I've got a master's degree in cyber operations. I've got a bachelor's degree in computer networks and cybersecurity. I know C++. I know Python. I was like, I bet I could figure my way out on generating some kind of bot. So probably last November-ish timeframe, I started compiling and building and seeing like what it takes to build a bot, like how much effort is it going to be, and what's required, what goes into it, how many resources, and all that. So that was probably November, December timeframe. And then in December, I think I had December, January, loosely, I had what I would call like the bare bones. And it was essentially just grid trading. They would buy up kind of like what Pionex used to do back in the day, where it's just a normal grid bot with nothing special about it. It would buy as it went up, and it would sell as it went down. And if you didn't have 20 grand in your account, you were probably screwed. So started working on that in January, and then February started to gain a little traction. Back testing results started to look good, and I was only looking at AutoCAD at that point, which is why AutoCAD is so prevalent, because it's what I had the most experience with. And then I started looking at, I kind of took the logic. I don't know if you guys know what logic gates are in regards to like computer science, but they're essentially if-then statements. So if this happens, then do this. If this, then this. So I was like, well, I mean, it's code. So if I can apply the same theology to trading, like maybe this will work. So I applied some of those to what I was working on. And I started to get better backtest results. And I was like, all right, let's throw this at a demo. So I started demoing it and on AutoCAD, and it started to do pretty well. And then I added the 4 other pairs, EU, GU, AutoCAD, and I can't remember the last pair. It's in the left of me.
GBP.
Yeah, GBP USD. So yeah, AutoCAD, AutoNZD, Euro USD, GBP USD, and NZD CAD are the 5 that we trade on JAT. So I started adding those in, and then started getting more consistent results. And what I was finding is these lower volume pairs that react somewhat to news were doing really well consistently and not really jumping outside of their ranges outside of 1 or 2 off out of like a year period. And so I was like, okay, if I can manage a range and I can manage entry criteria, make it strict enough to where only enter if this is required, then maybe it'll work. So started doing that, and then JAT kind of became a thing. And I don't know if that was a good enough explanation, but that's kind of like the basis around how it formed. And then that was probably February of this year is when, like February, March timeframe is when it was probably, I would say, done. Nice. And then I started demoing it even more, and I had some other people demo it on like 100K accounts. Had some people demo it on $500 accounts and kind of see what the limiting factor was on it. And then I said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go live with it. So I think I threw like $1,500 and I started trading on CoinX Live with it, and I still have the same account today, and I'm sitting right at 51.24 as of this recording.
Nice. Well, and so a couple things I want to just highlight there is obviously the research, the thought process behind it, all those kind of things are stuff that we don't get to hear with a lot. So I will say, I think that explanation was fantastic. And I think it gives us a lot of depth into what was brought into this. Not only that, your testing months are some of the craziest markets we've seen in a long time, really, when you think about it, with Trump doing the BS that he does and the tweets and the whatever. So
I'm scared of a Trump tweet than I am of a red folder news event. I shit you not. It is.
No, absolutely.
A Trump tweet is much scarier to the markets because he could just be sitting on the John and hit send, and now the entire market goes kaput. So,
well, and if you enter, like if you try and enter something the same direction as he's pushed the market, you
right,
will experience drawdown because it usually retraces the bullshit that he does.
correct.
So I mean, and again, when you're messing with a bot, you're not really. I mean, as long you know the logics behind it, but it's still going to um, possibly enter a trade that you might not have entered because of that extra wildness to what's going on.
Right.
So yeah.
And the other, not to cut you off, but the other thing that like I kind of wanted to throw in here, and it's no secret, anyone in the chats knows that I'm active duty, and I wanted to build something that I could, in theory, forget about, drop it down to like 0.1, 0.2, go on a 6 to 8 month deployment, and then not worry about it, and then it would probably be fine. But if it wasn't going to be fine, then I wasn't going to be worried about it.
Yeah.
So that was the other like side note for me. But that's kind of like how it came to be, where I'm at, and then I can go into like the products that we have and the differences. But I see a couple chats that are popping in, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'll bring them up as we need to, and some of them have just been ones I put up because they're just sort of comments, which I think are great to see. Soon just asked for obviously a question for me there, which the last chat bot is okay place to start. Quarter mile kind of answered that for you, but yes, there's two of them. They're not that long. The first one was kind of my intro to it, and with me just starting it up. The second one was a real, I guess, an in-depth setup video for people that needed a little bit more than what was in the Discord, and as well gives you an update of where I'm at. So I think they're both worthwhile. They're not that long, so I'd appreciate you give those a quick watch soon. I know you're saying you're coming late, but if you have questions during this, please ask them. It's always nice to get some questions from somebody that's really starting absolutely fresh, because it helps us know what maybe you're going to want to research as you're getting into it, and we have one of the main guys in here, so it's a great time to ask those questions. But if anything happens again, like I said, after this, don't hesitate to ask me. Obviously, their Discord is great and they're very active. I always like to see the questions first because then I can make videos about them. And oddly enough, I'm actually getting more excited about creating content, which has been a hard thing for a while. And these guys have gotten me back into it. I have a few other things that I'm interested in, but I must admit, and I'm not just saying that because he's standing in front of me, this one is the one that's exciting me the most and giving me the most excitement to watch unfold as well. And so a quick synopsis before we go deeper with 7 Pint. I've had one account. I bought the cheapest one available just because I wanted to test it. And I told 7 Pint right when we started, I'm like, dude, I know you've been here forever. I know I trust you, all that stuff, but I'm not throwing money at another thing that I'm going to have to reset my account with and blah, blah, blah. So I bought $100 account through the Concept Trading. And I ended up taking that to pass in, I think it was 2 weeks. Like, it was really quick. And I had it on the lowest risk setting, which, I mean, I guess in essence maybe is high for that. But I went through a news event during that passing, I think, or it was during the first level, one or the other anyways. And it went into $60 a drawdown, which technically would have been max if I started it on day one. It could have almost blown the account. But because I had some build up already, it didn't even, I think I was 3% up, and I think I went down 3%. So I ended up going back to break even, but within 24 hours, I was almost past the next phase. So it handled that drawdown really well. And even while in that drawdown, it was creating more profit for itself using other pairs while sitting in this one drawdown pair. And it kept taking $2 or $3 here, $2 or $3 there. So by the time it got out of drawdown, it was that much further, and it almost eaten up its drawdown just in separate trades that happened. And the nice thing with, I'm not a CFD fan in the most part, but the nice thing with CFDs is they're not trailing drawdowns like some futures prop firms, where if you go up $500 and then go down $500, you're actually closer to your drawdown limit because it's trailing. It's actually $500 smaller. It's not trailing, so it's pretty sweet. Obviously, cash would be a better way to run any of these kind of things and give you more liberty and more. I mean, you're technically infinite drawdown there as long as it doesn't basically lot itself to death or stuff. So anyway, so just a couple of quick things there, and then we'll get back to you because you're the one I want to hear from mostly today, not me. For sure. Because I do enough talking for everybody. Just seeing if there was another question to get into, or if we just wanted to keep going. I don't think there was any. Oh yeah, sorry. I guess this is possibly a good time to jump into this. So Keith asks, would like to hear an explanation of the difference between JAT and the EP option. So these are two different. You guys have a few different bots, but JAT obviously is the one that's getting a lot of attention, and now the EP, I guess, is also getting some pretty decent attention. So maybe you want to get into the difference between those two.
Yeah, so great question, Keith. Really, JAT is, I would say, like the crown jewel of the actual on an enterprise or whatever you want to call it. It's the main focal point. It's what everything's kind of based off of in a loose fashion. But the extreme pips, it's kind of a more volatile version of that, and it's a little bit more focused on getting in and out quickly if possible, but market conditions obviously dictate that. But then in addition to that, it's a couple of combinations of some off-the-shelf bots as well that we all kind of combine. And I'm not gonna hide or stray from the fact that, like, if there's a good commercial bot out there and it's good, like Josh or I might buy it and then implement it, just to see how it goes. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because some of these bots are, $1,200, $1,400.
Some of them are tens of or thousands and tens of thousands.
Right.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Keith, EP is a combination of JAT with some different settings that are a little bit more aggressive than the average JAT bot, and then it's in addition to there are other bots in addition to JAT that are trading with it. And the purpose of that is basically that you always have something open on that account. So it's kind of always working. Whereas, like, right now, I think we've got, we've got one trade open on the regular JAT. And then probably after this closes, there's news at 9:30 tonight. But if this closes before that news, we probably won't see anything until probably 2 a.m. tonight. So there's those lulls periods. So I think EP is definitely more designed to be a quicker, more aggressive growth, where JAT is more designed to be that linear growth. And I think the best example of this is if you become a member and you look in Social Trader Tools and you run the bot for a week, your Social Trader Tools chart is it's a diagonal line across the screen. It doesn't waver, it doesn't go up and down. It's just a diagonal line. It's just consistent, just average trade growth, which is really cool to see. I think personally, I mean, you can look at exponential graphs all day, be like, oh, I made 64% one day. And you're like, okay, cool. But then the next day you lost 80%. So does it really matter? I don't know if that answers your question or if you're still here, but those are the large differences.
Keith is most definitely still here. He's a good guy, and I appreciate him coming by. So yeah, perfect, and that's awesome. And I think one of the other things to keep in mind is with the prop firms, we've had some chats about it and stuff. And really, if you're doing prop firms, which you can argue back and forth the benefits, the value of either or option, whether you do cash or whether you do prop firms. Yeah. For me, I have limited cash right now. I'm hoping to grow that, and that's my goal. And I'm having far more success in the last 2 months, 3 months, even in this and other things than I've had sometimes in all of my crypto experience, to be honest with you. It's just crazy. But the nice thing with prop firms, it kind of gives you that way of taking limited cash and turning it into something pretty great. But you do have to manage your risk. You can't just go like you can with a cash account and maybe do the EP one and set it on a fairly fast paced scale to growth. Yeah,
I just want to jump in. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. So as part of the EP does carry a higher monthly fee, and that is because as market conditions kind of weave in and out, and we look at trades and maybe upcoming massive news events, based on the recommendation of the customer or whoever owns it, we can say, hey, we're going to raise the risk on the main EP account to medium. You're currently set at low. Do you want to go to medium? And then we do that, or you just stay at low. It's we kind of broke the risk down into low, medium, and high, and they're just preset categories that we have that we can just easily move between.
Nice. Yeah, there's a lot more management to the EP one, so that's why there's a larger fee. Plus, there's a setup fee, I think, for that one. Yeah. And I guess just a quick plug in on there, guys. If you guys are learning about this bot through myself, there is affiliate links. I do appreciate you guys using them. It's not like some Ponzi scheme where I'm trying to get you referral links that get me money and get me ROI'd fast so you guys can be rugged.
Wait, you're on my downline? Hold on.
Yeah, exactly. This is just an opportunity for you guys to potentially earn passive income. If you choose to do that, It doesn't cost you any extra using my affiliate links, so I do appreciate that. And it helps me with all this because they aren't paying me directly for marketing for anything. I'm choosing to talk about them because I've tested it and I have value. I found value in what they're doing. And I really truly mean it when I say I've watched the bot kind of perform and I've kept my eye on it. And I really do like the way it interacts compared to anything else I've played with. And now I have more experience in a sense that I've done 3 years of learning to trade, which has helped me see things, I think, a little bit better than I would have had it been 2-3 years ago, where I really was kind of a noob. And yeah, I watched numbers on a screen, but it didn't really add any value. I didn't know why it was doing what it was doing. Now I can see what it's doing and that it's not being a martingale, that kind of stuff. So, so quarter mile last 7 point. What was the risk settings on the 1500 to 5100 live account?
Like thinking back, and I'd have to scroll back in my FT4, but I think I obviously probably started on a ×1. The recommendation, like the flat recommendation if you're using cash, is usually 1K per 001, or the lot size is 0.01 per 1K, and it's loose. It's risk dependent, but I think I started at like a 1 or a 2, and then I'm currently at a 6 on my live. That's what I'm currently trading. Josh tells me all the time that I'm pushing it too hard, but I think I'm fine. My drawdown isn't terrible. I think yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, I run JAT and Slow Sniper on my personal account, and I think yesterday or 2 days ago, Slow Sniper got in some drawdown, and I think I was at like 310 on my $4,900 account. So do the math there. Less than 10%, but definitely blowing a prop if you're using both of those.
Yeah. You don't want to be adding multiple bots on a prop.
No, if you're using props, and I think I've kind of talked about this in the Discord. If you're going to use JAT on a prop, especially something like TCT, I recommend running it at like a 0.01 or a ×1 until you get that buffer. And then if you want to increase the risk because you've seen like, hey, this can handle a little bit more, then like I think I told it hidden like, hey, once I get to 30 out of 60 on this current challenge, I'm gonna go to ×2. Because I have $70 worth of drawdown now by the original 40. So I've almost got double my drawdown, so I can probably almost double my risk. And that's just kind of how I think about that. But these guys, some of you guys that have like there's a couple guys that have much larger accounts. You could sit there and go 0.10, 0.15 and probably be okay. But noting asterisks, right, that if something happens and it decides to go against you, you're going to be potentially in some trouble. Yeah. That's just like one of those, you play those games, you win those prizes kind of thing.
Well, and that's the biggest thing too with the props is you're far better off to take an extra week, 2 weeks, even a month to get to the next level and hold on to your account than you are to waste all that time you spent getting your account to the size it got to. Like I've got I guess we can look at, I can't see. So my one that I've started, so on my last video, I guess I updated, I had just started or was getting a little bit into my smaller account, which is now at $1,700. And I've now got I should see when this started actually, because I can see that. Give me 2 seconds, guys, sorry.
It's probably last Friday time frame. Yeah. That's when I got my live for my 1K.
That's right. We were doing around the same time. So I think the 11th would that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
thereabouts.
So the 11th. So I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days, and I'm at 75.58, and I have to get to $102.
Yeah. So are you at ×1 or ×2 on it?
So I ended up bumping it for a minute, but right now I'm at ×2, I think. But at one point I was ×4 for a minute, but I was for 1 day. Yeah.
Hey man, your money, your choice. You do what you want. That's the other crucial thing I think is to point out. Like, yes, I can recommend that you do 0.01 per 1K all day long. But if you come in here and like, you know what, I got money to blow. I want to throw this at a 0.10 on a $1,500 account. I'm gonna call you a bunch of dirty names in the Discord and tell you that you're gonna waste your money. But at the end of the day, it's your money. You do what you want. That's just kind of how I feel about that.
As it passes the account in one trade.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, who's the dumb guy now? Yeah, exactly. So,
good show, guys. Thank you.
Cool.
Oh yeah, sorry. Soon was asking this, so I'll just quickly share this. This is in my video soon, but I don't mind. Again, please don't not ask questions because I really don't mind. And it does help people who are sitting here who are maybe thinking. So the first thing I did was went to traditional and I went to the lowest price account, $97. I think actually I paid 60 something for this account because there was a sale of 35% off when I did it. So I got this account for $60. I've already got $30 out. And my next payout, if you look at the schedule matrix, which you can click on here, my next payout will be $51. So after this next payout, which as you guys saw, I'm already 3/4 of the way there, I'm going to be ROI'd on this account. Obviously, I'm not paying my expenses for Social Trader, and so I'm not quite ROI'd as a whole, but I'm pretty darn close. And as soon as I get to basically the fourth payout, I guess, I'll probably will have ROI'd my Social Trader, and actually no, even at the third payout, I'll ROI my Social Trader and I'll be in the green now. And this took me 2 weeks to pass. This took me, I think, 2 weeks, and now this one's taking me 5 days, and I'm almost done. So I mean, again, I don't want to. This is not me telling you this is how the risk tolerance should go. You guys have to make something that's reasonable for you. Sorry, I gotta I don't mind hiding me. So yeah,
over here.
Yeah. Don't go nuts with this. Again, it's better to protect these. I'm happy to risk this one a little bit because I want to get it up to some pretty good payouts. And if I don't, what I've already done for myself is I've now picked up. I went to the premium. I would have loved to go to the Empire, and at some point maybe I will, but they're $5K to get the one that's funded right away, or $6K, and that just wasn't in the cards right now. So I went to Premier. There's no discount on these L1s. These ones are instant funding. So I've got this one here that I paid $11.97 for now, and I have 1% more drawdown, so I can go up to 5% drawdown. And my target's 1% higher at 7% instead of 6%. But now I'm running this one, and as soon as I get my first payout for this one, I will have half of what basically half of my ROI, and then that one will ROI me and then some, and cover this will cover everything after 2 payouts, right? Which is pretty huge. So these are great ways to do these, but you need to be patient with these and understand that you need to adjust your risk to make sure you preserve these accounts. So with this one here, the second one, just to give you guys an update, that one I'm at I'm at 165 already. So I've got $165 of build up, and that's after I think I got it started the same-ish day.
Podcast just closed.
Yep.
What's that?
I got that alert as well.
I was watching it.
Jeez,
Sorry.
So that one I started on the same day, so on the 11th, and I'm more than 10% through that one. So I'm a little slower on that one because I only did it at 6 only. I did it at 6x. Which theoretically, if I was to go with that math that 7 Pint talked about, I could technically do a 17x because I'm 17,000 with this account.
So I'm going to jump in here. That's one thing I think it's really important for props to look at. So while your account balance, yes, is 17K. Mm-hmm. However, your drawdown max is 850. So you should be trading that account as if it was like an $8,500 account. I would say probably so you really, on those accounts, I don't really think you should go above like a 0.010 in all honesty, because the drawdown you're going to prospectively see.
Ignore him. I'm doing fine.
That's just how I feel about that. Because yes, you can look at 17K and you can see like, okay, I can go 0.17, I'd be fine. And you totally might be fine for the 6 months plus. And by then you're going to be chilling. But I am like on the stands of just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
And if you have the ability to buy yourself protection by just earning a little less, then I think it's worth that that lack of income by having that increase in security. It's one trade or the other. And again, personal risk, right? If you choose that you want to run a 0.20 on a 5K account, hey brother, have at it. That's all you.
I'm doing 0.20, but my 0.06, which is basically what I'm doing, which is 6x for those of you that are maybe playing with it. I do feel comfortable, and I've watched it. Like even the last, was the day before FOMC, so yesterday, it did get it to I think about $150 in drawdown, which I'm allowed to do 800. So it's risky-ish this early in the game, but I had already built up about $150, so I technically had 1,000. But again, you guys have to figure that out for you. I did do a spreadsheet that you can get from my second video. It's now that I look at it, it's fairly conservative. But with the prop firms, maybe you want to go even more. But it's probably not a bad guide within reason, but you do want to be careful to not scale too fast. Because I think I actually will. I started scaling. I think I did 7x the day before yesterday, and that's where it hit the 150. And after that, I'm thinking, you know what? If there's any news, I think I might go back to 1 or to 2, which I did 2 or 3x. Right. Not that you guys have to do this, but that's for me. But anyways,
it's been pretty tame as of late as far in JAT concerned. I haven't really seen a whole lot of 2, 3, 4, 5 deep trades lately, and it is grid based, so that is a potential to see those 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. But I haven't seen that lately. But I'm going to look at, I see Blackhawk VA has asked if gold and the NASDAQ drop 5% at a given time period, do you sell buy? JAT nor our other bots, those don't look at outside charts or information to make decisions on the entry of the position. They're only looking at the actual chart that they're placed on. So OddCAD's looking at OddCAD and then the indicators that are feeding into it. It doesn't have a news filter. I've played with news filters and they're buggy. And if the link that you have going into the news filter doesn't work, or insert reason here, it adds more clutter. And I wasn't having success for it. But to answer your question, no, there's nothing that looks at the massive market movers to make a decision on JATBot.
And I mean, I kept mine on for all the news. I haven't turned it off at all. And my reasoning for that was I wanted to make sure I tried it for everybody that I'm talking to, right? I don't want to talk about something and not be able to experience what it goes through. So I've kept it on, and I will continue probably at least on my small account, probably on my big account, but I'll just lower risk. And again, I think at some point you kind of mentioned it. There's probably no reason to lower risk. You're probably better off trying to time the Trump tweets to lower risk, but unfortunately we don't have that ability to do so.
No kidding.
And again, that's because it's prop accounts. If I was doing live accounts, based on what I've seen so far, I would not stop it ever. And I probably wouldn't even adjust risk other than as my account sizes up. That's my thoughts. This is not financial advice. Do your own reason, blah, blah, blah. All the catchphrases here.
Insert disclaimer here.
Yeah, exactly. But I personally, from what I've seen, I do appreciate how it manages its own risk. That doesn't mean it will never blow. That doesn't mean nothing can happen. But for my prop firms, I will be more cautious around news only because I want to protect that growth. Because as you guys might know, if you've used the concept trading, it's not like the other prop firms where you get a 200K account and that's it. These ones can grow to 1 million. I am happy to take time and protect this account to grow to 1 million. Some of them grow to 5 million. It's insane. So yeah, that's, I guess I'd lost my thought, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. Anything you want to add to that, Semi? And Hidden, sorry, you're getting you get pinned every time we have guests, don't you?
No, I just wanted to, I kind of wanted to, and you can even pull it up. So the max drawdown that I've seen to date is April 4th of this year on OddCAD, and that is the tariff tweet. That day of just absolute bloodbath came close to taking me out, and I think I was like on I was probably I got like a 3,600, and I was trading like a ×4, and I was starting to sweat, and I was like, all right, margin's getting low. I was like, all right, I think I threw $500 in the account to like keep it alive, but outside of that one-off trade, like that one-off day, this move, I mean, I can measure. Let's see, how many pips was this day?
So I pulled up the JATBot. Are you talking on? Was it on the JATBot?
So on the my FX book, it was after we decided to make that link. So it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be tracked in there quite yet. But it was 390 pips on one day. So that was probably the most drawdown I've seen. But Paca's got my FX book pulled up. That link is in our Discord. You can see all the products we open. Obviously, it looks like Extreme Pips 500 is not doing great because I had a loss. I mean, losses happen. That's the other thing that I think Pocket has talked about is our trades do lose. There is red in these trades. It's not like you go into, some of these insert broker name here and you log in there and someone's look at my no loss trading account. It never loses. I just make $1,200 every other trade. No, we lose. It takes losses. But I don't know if you want me to talk about, I guess, really the differences between U.S. and Canadian members, or really non-U.S., I should say, in regards to getting piped in with JAT and how.
We can definitely go through that. I'm just showing here now, like there is losses, and as you can see, like even like this one here took a $49 loss, but it had a 75. Like you got to understand, there's a little bit of DCAing that it does, which allows it to kind of get out of trades profitable as a whole. So these are a Euro USD that I had very early on in this one. Actually, this is my 17K account. And so you can see my first trade was on the 11th. So just showing full transparency. My last trade was today. And we just closed this last one that he was just talking about for 239. So I mean, like it definitely does take losses, but even this one. So this was the one that ended up hitting, I think I was upwards of $150 of drawdown. So I had already lowered it, I guess, because this was when I was at 0.02. So I must have lowered it to 2x at one point. And then it had a third DCA that brought it to 4.
That's your swap. Go over to the left where it says lots.
Thank you.
Yep.
Lots. There we are. No, I had this at 7x. So I was a little risky.
Yeah. Pushing it. Full throttle. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So I had started at 6, and then I did move it to 4 during the news. So maybe I need to go a little lower than that. Again, this news was really nothing. So it just took a few, like it never hit hardly any drawdown. I think there was one thing where it dropped. I think it went to like $10. It was nothing, like total nothing burger. But you guys could, like, I'm happy to share all this stuff with anybody. Full transparency. I started it at 6 and then moved it down for news, and had moved it up just before news for fun, but only to 7x. And that, again, I say only, that's only for me. I'm okay with a little bit of risk within reason, but I would have felt bad if I lost it, but I didn't. So
yeah, absolutely. If you made it to this point in the live, or you're still here, I think I talked to Josh about this earlier today. We're going to do, I guess, kind of in conjunction. I think TCT is also doing one, but we're going to do 2 more promo codes. We're going to do a promo code for $10 off of the VIP option that expires Friday at end of trading day. And then we're going to do 10% off of the VIP plus for 3 months option. And that also expires at the end of Friday trading day. So probably 48 hours post this video. If you guys are interested, and if you're not already in, you guys can get in and use those codes. But I'll drop those in the Discord post this video, and they'll be available.
The way those work, you can actually still use the affiliate link, and then what you do is you key in the code, and it gets you the discount. So
absolutely,
you get it all in one thing. So
absolutely,
I appreciate that. Any of my other videos, as well as my Discord, has the affiliate links in there. Again, you guys don't have to use them. To be honest, I keep saying that kind of thing, and I'm like, why do I even say that? Because it really doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything, you guys. It helps support me doing the channel because YouTube pays me $30 a month. So, and that was at my peak, actually. So who knows what? Like
we're on the way back up. We're on the way back up.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think unless you got other obscene questions for me, the only other thing I wanted to kind of touch on is basically what we're doing as far as like modalities to trade right now. And so the product is offered on WHOP. You purchase the product, brings you in Discord. We set you up. You need a social trader tools account, which the minimum is $20 a month, and that is enough to do everything that you need for JAT at the moment. Unless you're wanting additional accounts or you want to put it into different areas, that's the conversation we can totally have. And then for non-US members, that's all you need. You can bring the account in and you can put it to TCT, or you can put it to another broker. You can put it to a live, wherever. That's kind of where that ball stops for non-US members. For US members, at the moment, we are still using social trader tools because that's the only platform that I'm aware of that allows us to bring a signal in on MT4 and then disperse it to a large variety of customers. So for US members, you still need social trader tools. Then you need some sort of demo. I'm using CoinX right now. No complaints. Use whatever broker you want. Doesn't matter. And then you need a Traders Connect account because they offer the ability to go from MT5/4 to, I think, C Trader, DX Trade, Trade Locker, and something else. my hope in the near future is that Traders Connect will unveil the ability to basically add signal followers, and then at that point, I will just migrate everyone over to Traders Connect, so everything's a one-stop shop. They said nothing at the moment that it's being worked on, so who knows when, but once you got that Traders Connect account, you pipe in your demo from Social Traders Tool, you pipe in whatever account you're using, whatever broker, prop firm, whatever you want to use that offers a non-MT5, MT4 platform, and you trade it that way. I think Hidden is actually doing that right now, and he and I are plus or minus 13 cents, and I think we started on the same day, so slippage isn't really an issue. And then he's using a pro account, I'm using a normal account, so slippage hasn't been an issue with doing that double copy, which I was concerned it would be, but it doesn't seem to be a factor. And I think that's largely because we don't do HFT trading. I'm not doing 1,000 trades in a second. We do require a little bit of movement for things to work. So I think that's largely why slippage has not been a factor, but that's kind of how to use us right now.
Something to note, depending on how big of an account you get and how big your risk is or whatever, like be prepared. Your trades will always start in a negative. You will never be positive out of the gate. And that's a CFD thing. That's a normal thing. So Quarter Mile just said, I think JAT does 5 pairs, which I believe is correct. But you have a separate gold bot. To be honest, like I said, for me anyways, JAT's kind of the way it's at. If I did live money, I would definitely, actually, I will be setting up to show everybody off. I've just got to move some money into a broker, and I'm being a little bit picky on choosing a broker. And I'm finding not a lot of information, to be honest with you, trying to find a Canadian broker that I want to go with. So I'm dragging my feet on that a bit too. So I will open up one of those, and I'll have updates on that in the Discord. So yeah. And soon, I don't know. I'm assuming this was about the stuff I was showing. I am definitely not break even for the month. I have never been break even on this bot. Like I said, I'm cruising, which is pretty awesome, and I'm not going that crazy with risk. I mean, sorry, I guess in a way I am, but I don't think it's that crazy.
When you mean you're not break even, you mean you're in profit.
Yeah. I'm doing quite well. So this one here.
Look at that graph. Look at that thing.
17K account. This is a Ponzi scheme right here.
Yeah, exactly. Ponzi, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think. Yeah, so this is my 17K account. So it's 164. I have to get it to. I don't know. I'm not mathing right now. It's over 1,000. I think. Calculator.
6% or. 10%?
I think that one's 7%. Let me just double check. Actually, 7% is my profit target for that one. So 17,000 times 0.07. So I have to get 1190. So I've already got basically over 10% of my my need is there after 5 days. Now this is slower than the other one that I'm doing, because I'm doing only 6x risk on this one. Theoretically, that is only in my math. I'm not explaining my math properly, but it's not 6 times more aggressive. It's 6 times the lots from one, right? So I'm only, I don't know what percentage that works out to be, but I'm only, instead of doing 0.01 lots, I'm doing 0.06 lots. So it's technically only 2 and a bit x, 3x basically. Sorry, my other one, right? Does that make sense? 1x would be 2, 2x would be 3 or 4. So I'm 3x, 3.5x. Anyways, I'm babbling there.
That's how you lost me. I'm lost. I made it and I'm lost.
Well, yeah, but so when you got to think about the math wise, right? And that's where I'm trying to get at is, so if you do, when you do 2x on the bot, you are 2xing your risk.
Yes.
But when you do 4x, you're actually only 3xing your risk, because 1 times
is
2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So you're only doing 3 times your risk factor. So I'm being far more cautious with that account than theoretically I am on my 1K account, or that I was on my 1K account. So that's what I'm getting at, and that's where like the math does make sense. But
making sense now. Got it.
Yeah. And Taz, so the code does not have to convert to MP4, or Social Trader does it all for you, and Social Trader copies, because mine is running on MT5. So, but it's through Social Trader that the signals are being sent and then sent out. But good question. Taz has actually been with me through the Pulse, which was a big screw up that somebody decided they wanted to help everybody get tons of prop firms, blah, 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 blah. And so I appreciated his help. And we've been finally finding stuff like this, as well as another bot, and trying to help people. But I think all of them moved on because it took us a while to find something that works.
Yeah. And full transparency, like this could, you know, we could get,
I get what you meant.
we could get, you know, another tariff day or another outside whatever, and then it's just gonna buy until the cows come home, and then now, okay, cool, like let's try again.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be, I know I'm not responsible for what you do trading wise, but I just want people to know that your decision to manage your risk is your decision to manage your risk.
We're all adults here, and if you're not, you shouldn't be here.
Exactly. So, what anything else you guys got, or do you guys have?
Yeah, if you need to run, that's fine. I mean,
no.
I'm an hour.
I'm chilling.
Perfect.
I'm not
like this
yet, so I'm fine.
Long, but I do appreciate when people are engaged, right? And I want to take advantage of that. So, And so, Quarter Mile has a comment here, and Quarter Mile, I mean, he's always here.
Is this Jay West? Is it? I feel like this is Jay West.
Man, that would be Quarter Mile. Are you Jay West? I don't.
It's just the thanks y'all. That's what, because the user in Discord, Jay West, always leaves like a thanks.
I don't think I've
appreciate
ever
it or
connected
something
the
like
dots
that.
on
So,
that, and that would be hilarious.
if
Quarter
it
Mile,
is-
you gotta answer us.
yeah, you've been called out.
So both 7Pint and Josh have been very helpful and generous with their time helping folks get started. There's also a great setup guide in their Discord. And as I said, I try and do my best to help with video guides because people do enjoy those, which I appreciate your enjoyment of them. That is hilarious. That makes
Nailed it.
sense. Jesus, why didn't I know that already, Quarter Mile? That's terrible of me. Jab about his money. So Quarter Mile. So that even brings more to what I was about to say about Quarter Mile, because now that I know it's Jay West, it's even tenfold. Quarter Mile and Jay West, aka Jay West, are very systematic, very question oriented, very detail oriented. So if something gets them okay with something, that brings me some joy that I brought something good to them, because they are not a easy sell on anything, and I appreciate that because I want those kind of people in my realm of influence, because I like people who question shit. I sometimes don't question shit as much as I should, so I do appreciate everything you do, a Quarter Mile, even more so now that I know you're both Quarter Mile and JWS.
That's awesome.
Hilarious. So any other questions, guys? Because I do appreciate this stream. It's been far more invigorating for me. Hopefully Hidden feels the same way, because we've been bored out of our fucking minds over the last little while.
I think I saw it mentioned on the MyFX book. It does list gold, and I'm potentially, I talked to Josh for sure, but we're looking to potentially release the ability to purchase that bot as well. Don't know pricing points at this point, but possibly really going to release that one. More to follow, I think, probably going into the weekend on that. But I've had a couple of people ask about gold because it's listed on my FX book. So if you're listing it, then should I have access to it? Then yes, probably. But just really, I mean, honestly, joining the Discord and asking questions is probably your best bet if you're still unsure. And I've always been searching for kind of that, like, not Discord community, but just like a group where I can post. Like, I love to cook. I'll post barbecue, smoked briskets and all sorts of stuff in there. You post whatever you want. I do not give a shit. If you are crossing the line, like, I will violently tell you, and it'll be very made aware. But I want the Discord communities to be places where you can ask questions about trading and then be like, yo, I just got this super awesome bottle of bourbon, or I just, built a new PC, or I'm playing in Destiny, who wants to play, or whatever. And that's kind of where I want to get towards. And then
we need to have a Destiny. I haven't played Destiny in a long time. I should get back into
You're missing out, dude. Edge of Fate, the release, and then you got to get on.
I saw that. Honestly, I haven't gamed in forever. My addiction has become crypto and very quickly trading now. So I've put the gaming aside for a while. So there you go. You had market brisket. And I have seen some of your posts. You definitely are a foodie and an alcoholic, which are both things I love.
I like the E portion of that, not the IC. Yeah, good touch. Yeah, that's good.
Because I do appreciate both, and I hope at some point, and I've appreciated our chats, although we've never met until today physically. I do look forward to hopefully an opportunity where maybe even Hidden and I can head down your way and hang out, because Hidden and I was hoping to head down to see him at the Domes so you're aware, Domes there's an investment protocol that we're in, one of the only ones that's lasted 3 years. It's not like it's been mind-blowing returns other than our first month or two. We actually,
I was going to say those first month, I think me personally, I was like 56 or 60% ROI in the first 2 months. It was crazy.
Yeah. Damn.
We had the guy that leads that is a crazy good trader. So I do hope he does do a little bit more of that to help bring us some extra love. But I mean, the market hasn't been there for it. A crypto trader, sorry, not like a NASDAQ trader. Obviously, you can always find love there. But
crypto trading, I could not imagine trying to.
Not for me. I've tried it and it's not for me. I've had some success and you lose it the day afterwards. So anyways, a really good project and a really good group of people, and hopefully they see some of this, because I think this deserves some of their love, because they're good people that just want to find real good places to earn. This is common. Yeah, sorry, Mark wants Kevin wants your piano. You don't get, and you're not bearded anymore either, so maybe that's why you needed to change. You gotta.
Well, it's summer. You can't be doing that. It's gonna whole face.
Yeah, exactly. You need the pool. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to make sure I got into. To be honest with you, I don't know if I prefer to give all the attention to JAT, because I did appreciate this. And I did go back. I think I mentioned it, but I think it was in passing. But soon, I do realize what you meant. Break even, as in I'm pretty much breaking even pretty fast on my costs, which I yes, agreed. Not on my bot, but on my costs of things, which is great. Anybody have any questions?
Well, before or after that, I guess. One thing I wanted to kind of like leave with like the viewers is I want to look at JAT personally as not necessarily a Roth IRA, but something that you're not going to make like 12-15% in a day. You're not going to ROI 50% of your account in a month. You're not like, that's not what it's built for. It's built for that consistent, stable growth over an extended period of time that outperforms the market. Yeah. That's kind of where we're shifting towards. That's where we came from, and that's what I want it to be. I want it to be. You've heard me mention in the Discord. You may have seen. My goal is 3% a week, which is 12% a month, which is absolutely ridiculous.
But astronomical.
Yeah. It's ridiculous if you look at like the traditional S&P that does 8% a year. Like, yeah, you are crushing that. However, if you look at like, these people are like, oh, I made $4,800 today. Like, okay, cool, man. That you full ported on gold before a news event. Like, that's awesome. Good for you.
You don't want to
that over the last month, bud.
Yeah. Like that's not what we're doing here.
Yeah. No, you share a lot of philosophies that we do with other people in the trading group. I do like, you share a lot of those philosophies, which I appreciate. So no, we'll have you on more often. Mark wants his Lambo tomorrow, but
yeah, send it, man. Go for it. Odd cat sell, go now.
So odd comment on that Lambo. I actually there is a Lambo in our area. He bought it with Bitcoin. His license plate is Bitcoin. And he basically cashed out Bitcoin to buy his Lambo. And I'm like, you goof. I knew his accountant, so that's why the story. But yeah.
Hey, man, it must be nice to have that money. I'd love to be able to own this boat someday, but that's not going to happen. There. We'll see. But yeah, it was. I got nothing else unless there's any lurking questions.
Nothing flying by us right now.
You guys can do your shop.
Call to action, I guess, really, guys, is obviously if you're in my Discord, all the links are in there. In I think announcements, I put stuff. 7 Pint, you did mention something about some coupons. If you want to you're in the Discord, so don't hesitate, drop them there, and I'll put them in an announcement to make sure everybody has them along with the affiliate links. Again, I always feel icky saying it, but I know I don't need to. So I apologize for repeating that 100 times, but I will.
But I think your viewers know you well enough, and I
would hope so.
It's well deserved. If they're watching this or have viewed a JAT video, to just scroll down to the description and click that affiliate link. I think it's well deserved.
But it's in the Discord. You guys. Yeah. So I don't know. Thanks, Quarter Mile. Yeah, I think we'll kind of shut it down there. Cheers to you. I can't buy bourbons in Canada, as you are aware. So if everybody else knows, we've boycotted the U.S. alcohols. That was one of the first things we did. So mine is a whiskey that I am enjoying quite nicely.
I'm almost out, so I also
cheers. I am also almost out, so cheers, Will. But, and quite nice. I really enjoy this one, actually. I just bought it today because I was like, I wanted to find a little treat for myself while we're hanging out. So, hey, Scott, welcome.
We're closing down, Scott. You missed it. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know. If you came late, hopefully you go back and watch some of it. Terry, I don't recognize you, but welcome, and thank you for that kind compliment to 7 Pint Hidden and myself.
Hi, Terry.
And yeah, so join the Discord. Please, if you are coming in late, please watch this. We've been running for an hour, and we actually filled it with some pretty awesome content. Hidden and I have been squirreling to try and make 45 minutes or even half an hour some days lately. So I'm hoping to have a lot better chats. The blockchain after hours, as you guys know, the way we've kind of gone through this is it's always kind of a recap of the stuff that we're in. So obviously I will be adding the JAT bot to our talks every week when we do these with Hidden. Obviously 7 Pint, you're always welcome from time to time. If there's any new stuff, don't hesitate to come join us.
For sure.
And yes, I haven't drank I haven't drank very much in a while because my wife is dealing with migraines and shit, so we've just kind of cut down, but I am enjoying a beverage today, so
heck yeah.
There you go.
So what I was getting at, so yeah, so that's basically it, guys. I appreciate you all. We had a really good viewing. Actually, I think we've averaged over 10 people today, which if those of you who have been here for a while, it's been hard for us to get double digits lately, and rightfully so. The market's been shit. The stuff that we've had has been shit. So I'm looking forward to that changing, even if it's just trading stuff. I did not talk about it, and I should mention it just briefly. If anybody is looking to learn trading, our next boot camp with the Pack Trading Group is starting sometime mid-July, I believe. Sign up is available, so if you're in the Pack Trading Group, there's a link there. If you're not, let me know and I'll get it posted in my Discord. For any of you that have dabbled in trading, thought about trading, I can tell you with certainty, and I mean like similar to what I'll get behind the jackpot with. When it comes to learning trading, this has been an invaluable tool for me. I'm still not perfect. I'm still not. I have gotten payouts. My problems are my discipline. It has nothing to do with the knowledge I'm learning from some of this stuff. But we will go through some of that discipline. A lot of trading groups that cost you hundreds or thousands of dollars will not teach you anything except for trying to be a signal BS group. So if you want to learn a little bit more, it's $100 for 3 months, which to me is very worth it. And like the guy that runs the group with me, he's a veteran, really loves helping people. So if you need a little help with that, just reach out to me and we'll help you out. And yeah, sorry, I'm babbling now, but I think that's about it. I haven't babbled this whole time almost. And I'm usually bad for that. Hidden, anything else from you?
No.
7 Pint, anything else from you?
I'm good, man.
All right. Quarter miles beat me to something I should have done at the start of the whole video. Please hit that like button on your way out. If you have not already, hit the subscribe. I am getting excited to bring more content out. It will obviously revolve around some of this real stuff that we have access to. Crypto experience. Thank you. So it'll be trading, it'll be bots. Well, I don't even know if I'll find another bot because, to be honest, I really like what this is doing. We do have stuff we're developing inside the Pack Trading Group. There is another one that I am using, but in the most part, I'm trying to keep it to stuff I can tangibly talk or relate with the person that runs the thing so that I know that we're not dealing with some scammy piece of shit. And yeah, I think I've gone on enough a rant there. So thanks again, guys. And thanks so much, 7 Pint. And as always, Hidden, thanks for hanging with me. And have yourselves a good night.